Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. It's time for semifinal number 2 of the 2025 Laurie Mendenhall Memorial Showcase Tournament Championships for the 18U division. Ohio Supreme awaits the winner. It's the 4-seed Release, the 1-seed T3. One team makes it to the championship game. Find out who up next on SmeeSports.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
This is another one. It's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. Needs a point, and it's alive. Hits and pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
Good afternoon from Schoonover Stadium on the campus of Kent State University. Game number 4 of the day sees semifinal number 2 of the 18U division as number 1 T3 takes on number 4 Release Baseball. He's Gabe Koza. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Gabe, what a treat we have here. 2 of the best teams in this tournament. What is going to be the deciding factor between these two giants?
Well, I think it's hard to ignore the fatigue aspect when it comes to T3 just coming off of a game not too long ago. So how will that factor into their performance? So I think with that involved, it's hard not to think that Release has a slight advantage here, but we will see. I think what's important for T3 is to get a good lead early on in the game, so that way they don't have to exert a ton of energy trying to come back later on in the game when they're already really fatigued.
I agree with that. They need to get a good start, and a lot of that starts with Jordan Kievman on the mound. How could he set the tempo in a very similar fashion to Johnny Kinter from last game?
I think it's just about controlling the strike zone, not losing your confidence, understanding certain hitters and some of their tendencies and where they're batting from, left or right, taking advantage of that. They could be very beneficial for this T3 team. And like I said, they really need a good start, so pitching is going to be important to them to control the amount of runs that they're allowing.
Leading it off for Release, it is their DH once again, A.J. Trobenter. Could see him catch the championship game if Release makes it there. The time, 3:21, and we are underway. First pitch up and in for ball 1. Release's order goes as follows: Trobenter, Radigan, Hash, Alexander, Bortnick, Paul Uzek, Torres, Hilton, White, and in the 10 slot, Brady Olson. The 1-0. Once again inside, not going to clip the edge. It's 2-0. Good start for the offense of just being patient, and one of the best guys to be patient in the area in Trobenter in the box. Takes that one up and in for ball 3. That one a little bit more convincing, but not convincing enough.
Nope, not convincing enough. Really patient plate presence right here. It's kind of impressive to watch.
Here comes the 3-0. Once again takes it. It's a 4-pitch walk to begin the game.
4-pitch walk to begin the game. Pitcher's got to get this under control. It's very early, but still not a great sign.
How many times and how many reasons can we give for Coach Stahlberg to have recruited this kid?
I think a lot of reasons. We will forever be recruiting for Coach Stahlberg. We're forever grateful for what Tri-C has given us and the opportunity they've gave for us to call their games. And hopefully their next season could be as successful as their last season. It's very hard to wish that because last season was so successful, but if there's any team that can do it, it's them.
I agree. 1-0 the count on Patrick Radigan, the former ace of Lake Catholic. That one up and out for ball 2. We did talk to Release's coach. He is not able to throw in this game because he threw on Thursday. That's a big one.
Definitely is big right there.
2 balls, no strikes. Kiefman just looking to find the zone for the first time in this game. And he will on the chop foul from Radigan. Count now sits at 2 balls, 1 strike. Later on in this game, actually later on in the inning, we will see Jacob Gunvalson take the mound for Release. Kiefman's 2-1. Swing and a miss from Radigan, now 2-2. After 6 balls to begin the game, Kiefman needed this kind of response.
Oh, for sure he did. And if he can get a strikeout here, that would be awesome for this T3 team.
And against a very talented hitter, no less. And in the meantime, the Ashland commit will call time. Don't mind the decision there for Patrick Radigan to settle things down and take a second before stepping back in.
Definitely nothing wrong with that.
Kiefman setting up, keeps tabs on Trobenter. His 2-2 breaks in and gets the swing and a miss for out number 1. First punch out today from Jordan Kiefman.
Great to see that. After a walk right there, a 4-ball walk, to see a guy come back with a strikeout. It's nice to see his confidence has not been flatted at all, and he's still confident in his abilities to throw strikes and ultimately strike batters out.
And there's a reason why Coach Sogard at Wright State got him this guy to commit. He wanted this kind of talent and this kind of headspace on his squad. First pitch is a ball upstairs to Tommy Hash, 1-0 the counts. Hash just finished up his senior year at Aurora. He is off to the OAC to play for ONU after the summer. 1 on, 1 down. The pitch. Breaks in, now 1-1. Look over at first base, though. Trobenter not getting a lead at all, really. Just kind of hiding behind the first baseman.
It's an interesting play right there. Most times we see guys trying to get the lead, just trying to throw the pitcher off and trying to take advantage of all their opportunities. But
the 1-1 breaks inside for ball 2. It also could be a potential sign of injury or fatigue from the baseball season. Lake Catholic, not too many catches on the roster. Trobenter had to do pretty much all the catching, if not all of the catching this season. It takes a toll, so this is the time to give him a break.
And as a catcher, you would know, too. That is speaking from firsthand experience.
For sure. It's not an easy thing. And at the level that Trobenter catches, it's even worse. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count on Hash. Christoph Alexander awaiting in the on-deck circle. The pitch breaks in. Beautiful. It's out number 2. Strikeout number 2 today for Kiefman, and as well his second in a row.
It's really nicely done right there. Recover from a first at-bat like that with this type of performance. Really great.
And once again, a reason why he is going to Wright State. Now Christoph Alexander, the third baseman, steps in. We saw him play at short last game. A lot of good plays from him. But the question is, can he do it at the hot corner? But first of all, can he do it at the plate? And yes, he can. That one is drilled into right center field. It is extra bases. Trobenter on his horse. They will send him home, and he will be the opening run of the game. It is an RBI triple for Christoph Alexander, and Release will strike first.
That's one of the furthest hit balls we've seen today. Absolutely smashed, and it results in a run. Nice hit right there.
It's a rhetorical question that we asked, but don't tell Christoph Alexander. He responded pretty loudly.
Yeah, big impact play right there. And let's see if they can add on to that. They still have a runner on third.
And now that will set up Braden Bortnick, the shortstop. Bortnick, another good player for this squad, had a couple of good plays in the prior game. In the bottom of the inning, it's Springer, McCoon, and Kurek leading it off for T3. But a chance to make it 2-0 here. Once again, it's that off-speed hitting the edge of the strike zone that has been the most dangerous pitch of Kievman. 0-1 the count. Right now, the goal is to get out of the inning without allowing a second run. That pitch inside almost clips him, but misses. Even counts. Last game, it was Ganda behind the dish. This time, it is Ezra Kurek wearing number 5. Or in today's case, wearing no number. The 1-1. It's a beautiful deep drive to left field. Still going back, and it will one-hop the wall. It is a ground rule RBI double. And that will make it 2-0 release. One of the first, if not the first, ground rule double that we have seen this summer. Beautiful swing. Beautiful drive. Beautiful one-hop. You'll hopefully see it on your screen here. Just that ball sneaking over the fence on that one-hop. Release is bringing the power, and you can tell that they are well rested after today's game early today.
And it's not a great sign from T3. They need to end this game quick, and they need to get a lead quick, so definitely not working in their favor.
First pitch is a ball to Paul Uzak, 1-0 the counts. Paul Uzak played in right field last game. This time he is flipped over to the left. And he will actually just trade places with Pat Radigan, who is now in right, which it's a good idea. Shorter distance to throw. It saves his arm for the next tournaments. 1-0 hits the outside edge now, 1-1. But Kievman needs to get out number 3 here. He had that good little stretch with Radigan and Hash, able to get those strikeouts. Back-to-back extra base hits. And he is stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Well off the plate for ball 2. We saw this back in game number 1 with Colin Rooney calling the shots behind the dish. A lot of off-speed.
Yeah, a lot of off-speed right here. So far, Release has been able to capitalize that with some very powerful hits. Now let's see what they can do from here.
Hitters count 2-1 on Paul Uzak. Up and out for ball 3. In the on-deck circle, it is the closer from the last game that Release played, Gerardo Torres. He is getting the nod at first base in this game. 3 balls, 1 strike. A chance for Release to keep their potent inning going. Hard hit ball right side, picked up at second base on a 1-hop. Easy throw to 1, side retired. Excellent snag over at second base by Braden Springer. He will hope to take that momentum of the putout and take it to the plate as he leads it off in the bottom of the first inning. We will see it on the replay again. Once again, just lets that ball travel right to him. We've seen that a lot today with the turf infield, and it's a simple putout at 1 to retire the side. But Release, they will take the result of the top of the first inning. 2-run score. It's an RBI triple from Christoph Alexander and a ground rule RBI double from Braden Bortnick. 2-0 Release on top of T3. Your score. This is the 2025 Laurie Mendenhall Memorial Showcase semifinals on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Bottom one at Schoonover Stadium. 2-0 Release baseball on top of T3. Jacob Gunvalson, the starting pitcher today for Release, just finished up his senior year at Mentor. Now heading on over to John Carroll. Good chance for him to have a good outing here. We saw him on Father's Day do a good number on the OEB lineup. A lot of OAC representation in there, but what do you think the approach has to be here? He's pitching with a lead early on, and that can be a blessing, but also a curse, as it could bring in some mistakes.
Yeah, it's going to – well, they also – the fatigue factor is big, so I think there comes to a point where if T3 have to keep swinging, as they get a swing there and a base hit.
That was a pretty nice swing to get things underway for Braden Springer.
But fatigue's a big thing, so I think you play towards that and kind of make them chase and make them swing a lot, so that way, you know, they get more tired and eventually they just don't have the energy to be able to put forth a comeback.
And if they win this game, they have to play a third game in a row.
That's nuts.
As the 1 seed, I feel like that's more of a punishment than a prize.
I would agree.
Go back to 1, not in time.
Sort of similar to the college football playoff, which they did end up changing, where that you saw top seeds, playing, having a harder path to the championship than some of the lower ones did. So I think that's definitely something that is unfortunate for them.
With 8 teams in, you have to play every game today, so you're going to have to play 3 games. It's just unfortunate, the spacing, and unfortunate that's how it is, but each tournament has to fit in its single weekend. It's not like it's a ongoing season where you can have games split or just a doubleheader. They do a good job during the other parts of it to not have that happen. Excellent snag at 1 by Torres for out number 1, as that is an easy put out against McCoon. Well, easy in the fact that he was able to get that play right away.
Yeah. Nice play right there, be able to corral that baseball and step on the first base. But they do have a runner on second, T3, so runner in scoring position.
And with McCoon out of the way, Ezra Keurig, the catcher, now steps in. First pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. But getting a response early on in the bottom of the first inning is a big priority here. You got to get something going. You can't just let Release get a big lead, and if you do, this game's going to be over before it starts. Popped up right side. Torres going for it again. Just in and out of the breadbasket.
Almost went 2 for 2 there on balls out by first base. Balls caught by the first baseman. Just misses it there, though.
And that would have been, do we say better than the first one or no? That's tough. They're both really impressive plays if they were made.
I think that second one might be slightly better. I mean, he's running all the way down to the foul line. If he caught it, would have ended up making that play, but both still really good plays.
But now a 2-strike count on Keurig. The pitch, chopped left side, but it will go left of the third base bag, foul. Once again, for those just tuning in, Ohio Supreme able to take down the RBI Guardians 11-3 at Thurman Munson Field 2. They have booked their spot in the championship game as the 2 seed. If T3 wins, once again, the number 1 seed, or the higher seed, would still be undefeated. The 0-2. A good drive deep to center field. Olsen goes back. He has it for out number 2, and the runner is able to tag up to third. Good work by Keurig, able to get a productive out, albeit still an out. And that will see Jacob McCartney, the first baseman, step in. 2 for his last 2, 3 RBIs after a slower start to the last game offensively.
What's our player of the game, though, last game? So he has that ability to really have an impact for them on both sides of the ball, and this is a big chance for him. Like we said, we want that. We think it's very beneficial for them to end this, to get a big run lead early on, so that way fatigue doesn't hurt him as much. So has an opportunity to do that here.
Now, if Release can pile on the runs early on in this game, then that gives them a shot to take a slight break before the championship. 0-1 the count on McCartney. Now he fouls that one down the right side. Out of play, 0-2. Gunvalson doing a good job so far. Going through the order. Still has that leadoff single hanging over his head. But only so much he could have done there. No balls, 2 strikes. Off-speed will off the plate here.
Could be.
Wouldn't hate that, as we've seen him have that tendency to chase the breaking ball on the outer edge of the zone. Or at the same time, bring something high and dangerous, but at the same time, not really hittable. The 0-2 goes down low, doesn't get the bite. That'll be ball 1. Good adjustment by McCartney in the box. You could tell kind of a slight twitch towards it, kind of wanted it, but at the same time, he knew what he was getting and really did not expect anything other than that. Still a pitcher's count, 1-2. Gunvalson looking for his first strikeout of the game. Not going to get it once again. It's a wayward throw. Hilton does a great job behind the dish catching up. But Nick Hilton doing all he can behind the dish to really keep this one at bay. It's tough, but at the same time, it's doable.
Definitely is. We'll see. He might chase at this one, or he might be able to get a pitch inside that he really likes.
2-2 off the plate, same spot for ball 3. And now it's a full count. I don't mind the idea of throwing 3 outside, but back to back to back, if he doesn't swing at the first, I don't think he's going to swing at the next 2.
I agree. Maybe he thinks, he saw that little twitch that we saw from up there. Maybe he thinks that he might go for one.
And that time it works. Yep. 4th time's the charm, and Gunvalson gets out of the inning with the strikeout, and no runs allowed. Really surprised to see it on the 4th one, but that pitch was a thing of beauty from the John Carroll commit. We will take a second look via our video replay. That's what he wanted to do on that 0-2. Finally gets it done a few pitches later, and the inning is over. Leadoff single looking dangerous, but nothing coming by it. Through 1, it is the 4 seed up 2-zip on T3. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Gerardo Torres ready to go in the batter's box as you see him on your screen moments ago, giving a fist bump to the umpire. I'm sure some kind of lighthearted comments were made. They're having fun out there, and that's what you want to see in a game like this. A lot of pressure to win another title. Obviously, these tournament teams, they play in tournaments every weekend. But every single one, you have a chance to win and a chance to show up and show out. Ground ball to second. He drops it. The play at 1 just in time for the opening out. We will take a second look at that one as it was close, but I did think he was able to reestablish with enough time to spare.
I think he got it in at 1.
That was Springer with the bobble, but still good recovery, good resilience from him as that was not an easy recovery. And you'll see on that replay, it's not as clear cut, but I think still just got it. That one chopped foul, 0-1 the count. It is Nick Hilton, the catcher, now in. Just finished up his time at Canton Central, and he will be at Ohio Wesleyan next year to play some college ball. Keithman looking to settle in. The 0-1 off the plate, evening up the count. The sun's still out here at Schoonover Stadium. Definitely a warmer afternoon, but not the hottest that we've seen here at this stadium. Fly ball right side going into the outfield in the sun too. And it's going to fall and go to the corner. This could be a Little League homer depending on how fast Hilton can move. He is going to be held up at third. And because he did it on paper, that is going to be a triple. Obscure play in the outfield. Just lost it in the sun. Initially he tracked it, but I think, Gabe, you saw exactly what I saw. And you see it there. The moment that hand goes up, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, it's tough to see. And like you said, that sun beating down on you, it's a difficult grab. It looks routine, but it's really not. So it's important that these guys can somehow find a way to track that ball through that sun, because sunglasses only do so much. So
that was Nick Square out there trying to track it down. Just in the end, couldn't catch up, and that's just how the cookie crumbles for now. But now Braden White, the EH, a chance to make this 3-0. Just to look it up, 88 degrees, feels like 91 right now. So still not the best.
Like you said, the turf down in the field probably makes it another 10 degrees warmer for those guys. So,
and we were down there getting lineup cards before this game, and I felt the heat. I think you did too.
Yeah, and that's something to mention. You know, that adds to the fatigue for T3. So it's only going to get harder and harder for them to put up runs as this game goes on.
Definitely still a chance for them to do so, as sometimes amid these conditions you see a lot of stars just really be born. And kind of a typical saying, when the weather's bad, you kind of revert back to your level of training. And T3, with T3 performance, they have these guys right. And that is where you see it. There is out number 2, a big strikeout for Kievman, his third. But you revert back to your level of training, and Kievman, a guy committed to play at Wright State, he is really leaning on those teachings right now. And as you said earlier on in the day, some teaching nuggets.
Of course.
Now Brady Olson steps in, just like White, a chance to give Release a 3-0 lead, but he is quickly down in the count 0-1. Olson just finished up his senior year at Gilmore, now going off to play for the College World Series finalists. Or you can kind of call them finalists, as they made it to the pool of 8 for the College World Series in the Denison Big Red. Denison, based in Granville, just outside of Columbus. Very beautiful baseball facility from what I've seen. The 1-1 on the edge for strike 2. But Denison made it really far. I believe their best ever appearance there. They made it that far. You saw Rowan, another school, the profs that really not many people had on the map, as they were supposed to lose in Lynchburg but didn't. It was a really crazy Division III season. The 1-2 takes that one, and we are even. I mentioned it earlier on when mentioning Olson, Whitewater getting that big sweep in the actual College World Series.
Yeah.
I believe maybe winning by a combined 20-odd runs across 2 games. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. The pitch. Takes it down low for ball 3, and we are full. In the on-deck circle, it is A.J. Trobenter. Trobenter already has reached today with a walk and already has an RBI single during his second at-bat earlier today. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, and the inning is over. Jordan Kievman able to settle in back-to-back Ks, and that will take his tally up to 4. Runner at third with 1 down, no damage done. Middle of 2, it is Release Baseball up 2-0 on the T3 Warhawks. We're going to keep it here during the middle of the inning. A lot of things upcoming on the SmeeSports YouTube channel across the next couple of weeks. Wednesday is our next scheduled broadcast, as we will be at Brunswick High School. It is the WRCL on SmeeSports, as Premier Ohio takes on T3 in our game of the week at 6 p.m. Thursday, we will potentially be at Tri-C depending on the weather. Doubleheader featuring Team Ohio Pro Select. That is in the Jacob Garrick Wood Bat Classic. Friday, 4th of July right now, it is a planned off day. We will see if that stays par for the course. Saturday, should be doing some early morning games to make up for taking off Friday. Then on Sunday, I believe right now the plan is to be over at John Carroll for the 16U Division Championships, as that is the only box that we will have access to that weekend, to my knowledge. No games at Kent State next week, so we will be on a slight hiatus from this lovely facility here at Schoonover Stadium after today. But I assume that we will be back here at some point soon, maybe for some pool play at the Kent State Invite or otherwise mentioned. Then the next week, you go over towards the weekend of July 13th, and bam, the NABF World Series. 1 of 3 in a row. It's the younger kids, then you go up to 18U, then you go to the Collegiate Series. Should be fun. I believe the first week we're going to be up towards Cleveland. Same with the second week, as we will be using Lakewood and Andrews Osborne, to my knowledge. Then for the college teams, we will be at Thurman Munson Field 1, which is the big stadium. And, oh my goodness, outside of Severn Brew and other things that will try to keep me going, it's going to be some long days from dawn to dusk.
Yeah, long days, and it's just, but we're happy to do it. We're happy to do it to bring you guys the best coverage as part of our mission, and you guys can expect us from us for as long as this company is running.
Oh, we're going to do it. Thanks for volunteering for the NABF World Series.
Well, that week, I don't know if I'd be available that week because I'll be on vacation.
I had to take advantage of what you said there. I had to try there.
But lots of other people here, lots of other great interns that are more than capable of stepping in and doing a great job.
Definitely. We have a lot of great ones. Christy was here earlier taking pictures for the first 2 games. So if you're here for T3 and want to get those pictures, go and reach out to him on social media. 1-1 the count on Kievman. He is followed up by Velasco and Mommers this inning in the 5, 6, and 7 slots. Gunvalson's 1-1. A good drive deep to right field. Still going back to the warning track, and it is caught against the wall for out number 1.
A nice grab there. I thought that had a chance to maybe clear the wall there, but it doesn't. It ends up being a nice grab in the outfield, and good job there.
Brady Olson able to track that one down literally against the blue padding.
Yeah, and he's frustrated going into the dugout. He knows that it was that close to either going over the wall or hitting the wall and him probably getting a double out of that.
And I think it speaks to his pedigree. He makes that play right next to the CWS postering out in right center. I think it speaks a lot about Olson and where he's heading with Denison.
Maybe a potential foreshadowing there.
I would be shocked if they didn't make it back to the big dance at some point soon. Probably next year. 2-0 count here on Velasco. Speaking of College World Series, not quite there, but Mount Union making it to the regional tournament. They hosted their region, and they got their first ever tournament win in program history. Another fly ball. Same spot, right center. This time maybe a good 100 feet in, and it'll be caught by the second baseman, Hesh, for out number 2.
That ball is so hard to see in the sun there. It's a challenge to catch that.
Every single ball is an adventure in its own right.
Yeah, that is true.
Now Josh Mommers, the Bowling Green commit, steps in. He'll be heading over to Bowling Green in a few weeks, I'm sure, to get ready for their season. They have a good shot in the MAC this year. If they can start to build off of last year, and they have a good shot to do some damage. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the program almost went under during COVID, but it was BG alum Oral Hershiser who kept them afloat.
I wouldn't know off the top of my head if that was true or not.
That was a big story at the time, if I'm not mistaken, with Oral doing that, and there's been a lot of things made about that, as he was a great pitcher. Pitched for the Dodgers in the 80s. Then I believe he pitched a couple of years for the Indians in the 90s.
Maybe.
Could be wrong on my timeline. Could be flipped order. A lot of guys started in Cleveland and then left, but I'm pretty sure it was in that order.
Nice to see, though. We saw with Cleveland State with their wrestling program, the support they got when I'm pretty sure I don't know if they're resurrecting it, but when they announced that it was being canned, so much support. Stipe Miocic showing up to the last fight, UFC fighter, one of the best heavyweights in UFC history. So the support that these programs get is awesome, because ultimately it gives kids an opportunity to play the sport they love and also get some money off of school at the same time.
And same with Grand Canyon men's volleyball. After one of their best ever seasons, the program shut down, and they got a lot of support from the community right after that happened. But 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count on Mommers. The pitch off the plate for ball 3, and we are full. After Josh, it would go to Ganda this inning for T3.
It's one of those unfortunate realities of the NAL revenue sharing, that a lot of these programs are just going to focus on the 2 biggest revenue drivers, that being basketball and football. And we love basketball and football, but we also love other sports like baseball, some of the women's sports as well. They definitely deserve a spotlight, and for them to be cut just for money is pretty sad.
I believe from what I've seen at Ohio State, football subsidizes their whole baseball program, and then maybe 2 or 3 other sports at least. 3 balls, 2 strikes after the foul ball. Payoff again. Swing and a miss. And there is the side retired in order. Gunvalson getting his second strikeout of the day. And that will end the second inning. We'll keep it here once more here. And then after the top of the third inning, we will go to break once again. But going back to those programs being subsidized, another thing, Division II with scholarships, they're able to kind of fund those. Division III completely covered by Division I pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's interesting. But I think you're going to see a lot more guys going to D3 with this transfer portal and with the NIL situation. It's very chaotic and hectic. But one thing is, you can go to a D3 school, you can play, and then you could transfer up, or you can go the JUCO route. So D3 definitely will still be viable, and hopefully those programs in Division III can still continue to operate. I would imagine they would, but it's really tough with this NIL. It has its pros, but it also has its cons, and hopefully the cons don't start outweighing the pros. Because I think we all agree that some of the star players definitely deserve to be getting paid, but the kind of Wild West has its negatives, and there definitely needs to be some regulation.
And I agree with that completely. Maybe a salary cap in there. I mean,
yeah.
Who was it? Bryce Underwood from Michigan getting, what was that, 10, 15 million?
15 million from Larry Ellison's wife, and it was Larry Ellison's wife, who's the founder of Oracle, a very, very successful company. It's worth hundreds of billions of dollars, and hence he's worth billions of dollars. So it becomes a situation where it's like buying players and buying teams, and we saw it a lot this year in college basketball with the SEC. Sort of emerged not out of nowhere. They emerged because of NIL, but they became the best college basketball conference. So many teams in the tournament, a large part to NIL. We saw programs like Mississippi State do really well, who we usually don't see do very well in basketball. Schools like Missouri, and obviously Arkansas in there with John Calipari. But
I would have to agree with that.
It's a situation where it has its pros and it has its cons. We just need to make sure that the pros always outweigh the cons.
I agree with what you said, but the one thing, I still think the Big East has the edge. The 1-0 breaks in now 1-1.
I think John Fanta would agree with you as well.
I think
shout out John Fanta,
the absolute legend of St. Ignatius Broadcasting over there. 1-1 strike, the count on Trebenter. The pitch. Popped foul, now 1-2. It's the top of the order for release. Set to hit here with Trebenter, Radigan, and Hash. Top three, 2-0 release on top. The winner of this game takes on Ohio Supreme at 5:30 in the championship game. Here comes the 1-2, and it is going to be in there for strike three, looking for out number one. Fifth strikeout today from Kievman.
Been really impressed with T3, man. Fatigue does not look like it to be an issue at all, and a lot of that probably is, like you said, because of their training. Just speaks to how well of a program they have over there. And back-to-back games, and they don't look fatigued or tired at all. The third game, I think it's going to be impossible to avoid fatigue, but so far so good for T3.
But the great equalizer, every single player will have played those 3 games pretty much. And so for those who don't know T3 Performance, go look up that facility. It is a monster of a training facility. It's awesome out in Avon. The 0-1 off the plate, evening up the count. Pat Radigan 0 for 1 in this game with a strikeout looking back in the first. 1-1 strike, the pitch. Misses off the plate for ball 2. But right now, this game's still kind of up in the air of who's going to get the win and who's going to play Team Ohio's Supreme squad. 2-1 up and out for ball 3. But should be a fun nightcap after this one. Radigan looking for redemption to reach here with 1 down. The pitch. Ground ball left side down the line, but it's going to break foul. That'll make it a full count, 3-2. But Jordan Kiefman, after allowing those 2 big hits, the only hit he has allowed is kind of an error, but it didn't hit a glove, so technically on paper you can call it a triple.
Yeah.
It's one that it's an error triple.
Yeah. Definitely not 100% on him, but he's really recovered from a slow start.
And so has Kiefman. There is strikeout number 6 today. That is a 4th in a row. Wow. And that spans back to last inning. 2 down. That was after that error, that random pop-up that fell. Strikeout, 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 strikeout. Kiefman really locking in as we are about to enter the bottom of the 3rd inning, potentially in the next couple of seconds, just given how strong he has been on the mound. But it is Tommy Hash trying to keep the inning going, and a guy looking for redemption after he struck out his last time up. But he is quickly down in the count, 0-2. As for T3, they will send up Ganda, Square, and Kinzer in the 8, 9, and 10 slots to round out the beginning of the bottom of the 3rd. And then back to the top they go with Springer. No balls, 2 strikes, released up by 2. The pitch. Chopped foul. Good survival chop from Hash. But you have to wonder what's going through their mind as the sun's still kind of here. The worst of it might be right now. It's kind of like at 4 o'clock. That's when the bad of it comes out by the end of it, at least. 0-2 up inside for ball 1.
I think definitely towards the later half of that championship game, the heat will not be as much of a prevalent issue. But right now, this is the hottest part of the day, 4 o'clock, especially in the summer. So they're feeling it, everybody on the field, including the umpires.
Popped into shallow left field, and it will be caught to retire the side. Good work out and left by McCoon to track that one down. Middle of 3 here at Schoonover Stadium. Release baseball up 2-0 on T3. We will step aside and hear a word from our sponsors here on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. T3 back at the sticks as we begin the bottom of the 3rd inning. 8, 9, and 10 set to hit here. 2-0 your score. Release on top after some good hitting back in the 1st inning. Now that T3 is back acclimated to this weather, is this when the tide starts to turn, or is Release still going to be able to control this game?
I mean, ideally, T3 should be controlling this game at some point because it's still early on. But Release has looked really dominant so far. They still have the lead, and T3 really hasn't been able to get much going offensively because of good pitching and good fielding. So we'll see, but definitely a good opportunity for T3 to take advantage.
And they're going to need some runs at some point in this game. The sooner the better. The 1-1 going to miss off the plate for ball 2. And if they have to play Supreme later, they're going to have to be at their absolute, and I mean absolute best. 2-1 inside for ball 3. And we do see our first player from Ohio Supreme making their way to Schoonover Stadium. They will play in around an hour and a half. Fly ball right side, foul. Count now full 3-2. It also depends on how quick this one goes, as if this is a quick game, then that one might start early. It also depends on how quick these guys can get here. Coming from a different site, that does make it more difficult, as the commute from Canton can be tricky. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gunvalson's payoff. Fouled away again. Ganda fighting as hard as he can in the box. But once again, I think pretty much this priority for now is get out of this game and kind of give yourself a second to check out Supreme, as right now, from what we've seen and just the way they played today, they're the team to beat.
For sure.
Good drive deep to left field, and that one is going to be just down. It's going to be a single, but somehow he picked it like a first baseman.
Yeah, that was interesting there from the outfielder, but nice.
Nice, solid, smooth motion to get it. We'll see that one again, just give it an absolute ride and perfectly scoops it. if he missed that, then that's extra bases for sure.
Yeah.
But either way, the leadoff man is on, and that will bring in Square. Nick Square just finished up his freshman year at Baldwin Wallace after playing for Mentor during his high school days. So kind of a Cardinal reunion here on the mound and in the batter's box. Now a 1-1 count. And that could also work in favor of Gunvalson to know his former teammate and be able to pitch around him. Fly ball hit into right field. Underneath it is Radigan, and he
lost it.
did not get it. It will bounce behind him. And nobody knows what's going on. The runners are in no man's land, and that will put two in scoring position.
What a bizarre sequence. I don't think anybody in the field knew where the ball was there. Definitely could have, I don't know if he could have got home, but he's a little delayed in his start to 3. And second was almost an out. They got there kind of late, but able to get there in time. But
Radigan lost it in the sun.
yeah, that sun is brutal. Now it's out. It's not in the, it's covered by clouds currently, but runners on second and third right now. Big opportunity here.
Both runs come in, we're tied.
And I got to say, the jerseys are oddly similar, so it is still a little challenging
Just like game number 1,
Yeah.
they're both wearing white.
to piece together, but
They both have other jerseys. That's what's, and if Supreme wears white, I'm going to be lost.
I will say, though, T3, at least the batter at the batting box has those that red stripe along the pants, which helps me differentiate, but, man, it could be hard sometimes.
2-0, a high fly ball. It depends how deep it's going to be. If we do see a tag, they're going to test it here. What a throw home. The tag is not in
Oh,
time.
that was so close. I think he was safe, though.
It's going to be a sac
That was-
fly, making it 2-1. But, Gabe, that was the risk of the game and maybe the risk of the tournament, and it paid off.
Yeah, it paid off big time there. That was so close, though. I think he was safe, though, so I think the run would still be counted, but it looked safe, so
He got it in
nice
time.
play, nice aggressive base running right there.
Tying run now 90 feet away. And, oh, goodness, Supreme is wearing white. They do
luck.
have some pinstripes, though.
Good luck to you with that.
The only positive is they're split. One's batting, one's in the field. So
Yeah.
that's different. If it was basketball, I'd be like, all right, forget about
we'd
it.
be screwed, yeah.
The 1-0. Off the edge, now 2-0. But surprised to see so many teams wearing the same white jerseys. You have to
Yeah.
feel, okay, we're going to have to flip as some team's the home, one team's the away. You
Yeah.
bring both jerseys. You wear what you are for that game. Just makes it a little bit more difficult to kind of see who's who. 2-0 off the plate for ball 3. In the on-deck circle after Springer, it is Owen McCoon. But this was about the spot that you wanted to see this T3 squad start to get back into this game and start to take control.
It's
And here it is.
Perfect, because the weather it's cooled down slightly with the sun covered, and it's still early on in the game to where fatigue is not as much of an issue as it would be later on in the game. So they're really taking advantage of their opportunity here.
McCoon will take ball 1 down low, and that will put the go-ahead run in scoring position. Good hustle on the down angle from Springer. But Owen McCoon so far 0 for 1 today with a ground out. Release 1 down in this frame. They need some outs. That'll help. Now a 1-1 count. The question is, how aggressive are you if you are Gunvalson? Do you continue going through the full arsenal, or do you try and pitch for the strikeout? He will be aggressive, but it is going to be a single right back up the gut, and T3 is going to take the lead. A 2 RBI single from Owen McCoon, and it is a 3-run rally in the third.
We've seen a lot of these rallies in all of our games we've called today, and this one's no different. But shout out to T3 because, you know, the weather has died down and it's still early on in the game, so not as fatigued as before. And they're going to try and score as many runs as they can because later on in the game, if that sun comes out, it'll be brutal.
Line drive left side. It one-hops the infield, and it is into left field. It's a 1-out single for the catcher, Keurig. And that'll bring up McCartney again. Release his defense, just unable to find a stop or an answer. And credit once again to T3, as you've said. Back-to-back games is never easy.
No.
As both Release, they played at 8:30. They were done, what, 10:45?
Yeah. And, you know, the championship might be a little different because it's going to cool down as the night goes on. But even still, that's going to be very challenging to play 3 straight games.
And I agree. I kind of think that it's going to be fatigue, but at the same time, it's not going to be as quickly set on.
Yeah.
Going to be some offset fatigue. Maybe in the 5th, 6th inning, they're going to start to see some guys have to be taken out of the game and switched out. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. A good drive deep to left field, still going back, and this one is gone! It's a 3-run bomb for McCartney, and that will make it 6-2 T3.
He has the power, that's for sure. And that's our first homer of the day. And it's a beauty, man, out there to left field. And T3 continues to stack on these runs. What a hit right there.
And once again, it is the future Triceratop with that hit.
And I could think of a major league team not that far away that could use that type of power.
But Jacob McCartney putting on a show in the semifinals and really in this whole tournament.
For sure. He was our MVP last game. With a hit like that, he has a good chance to win an MVP again.
Try not to give the same player of the game honors back-to-back games, but McCartney's making his job difficult.
He's deserved it, man. He deserves it all. He's had a great 2 games, and we'll see how he finishes off this one.
Now Jordan Kiefman, the pitcher, steps in. First pitch in there for strike 1.
Who knows? Maybe he wins it this one, then they win the championship. He wins that MVP. Maybe he goes back-to-back-to-back. 3-peat, like MJ and the Bulls from 2 different times. And there's another one.
Good drive deep to right field, still going back. And that one is going to bounce off of the wall. This time, Kiefman is able to get his double. Now he's going to go to third, and he is going to trot in standing. Last time, it was snagged on the wall. This time, it clips the wall.
I got to say, this has been one of the more impressive runs we've had today, given how talented this release team is. For them to just be batting in runs, is really, really impressive, and it speaks a lot, too, how good some of these players are for T3.
And the coaching, too. You have to give coaching a lot of credit. First pitch, going to hit for strike 1. And once again, talking to releases coaching staff outside of Gunvalson, no pitching.
Yeah.
So even if they do make the championship game, it's going to be a tall task for them to win it. And regardless, you're playing one of the best travel baseball organizations from Cincinnati, if not the best from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
The 1-1. Popped into right field, and it will get down, and now gets past the right fielder Radigan. It's an RBI single. He is going to take the turn and go to 2, and he is in easily. Make it 7-2 T3. 7 runs in a third of an inning.
Wow. And no visit at all, but they don't really have a backup option in there they can go to, so he's just going to have to hold in there, and hopefully he can get out of this inning.
Now it turns to Josh Mommers. Mommers 0 for 1 in this game. First pitch off the plate for ball 1. But who would have thought, when you said T3 needs to take control of this game, I think you probably meant 3-2, 4-2, not 7-2.
Definitely not. Not with a talented release team like this. But they've really taken advantage of their opportunities, and they've seized them, and they've padded in a lot of runs this inning.
Shot the foul, now 2-1. And if you're watching from Ohio Supreme, you have to be wondering, okay, how are we going to shut this down? If they can take this momentum against us,
yeah,
how are we going to do this?
A perfect time to go on a run. Now the sun's back out, so field temps are probably around mid-90 degrees. So that's a lot for both of these teams, but especially T3, who just played a game on this field.
You can't tell.
Yeah, you really can.
3-1 on Mommers. It is Ganda back up next. He led off the inning. Just to put that in perspective. Mommers takes off the plate. It's ball 4. He is on. Time now called. We could see the change on the mound. Braden White could be available, or he could be going to the bullpen. What do you think here?
It's a tough decision. I think, it's obviously been a pretty, and it looks like they are going to bring in a pitcher. I'm not surprised. It's been a long inning for this pitcher. Get a new guy in there and see if you can change things up and hopefully start a new game and get in some runs next inning.
But the T3 Warhawks, out of nowhere, played 7 runs in a third of an inning. It appears right now White is going in right field. Gunvalson might stay, and this could just be a move to take Radigan out. Or move somebody else around in the infield. Gunvalson's staying in. Radigan's now in the infield. And it appears that is number 22, Christoph Alexander, coming off the diamond. So that means I think he's going to go warm up in the bullpen. That's what I have to guess, because Christoph has had a great couple of games today. He has been great in the field, and he hasn't made really any mistakes.
We will be watching that bullpen for sure to see if we see any action in there. We will definitely let you guys know if we do.
And I believe Radigan did play a lot of third base for Lake Catholic this past season. I could be wrong. Only covered them once, and he pitched the full game. Now being told shortstop, so still right over there. So right in the vicinity. And knowing the talent of Pat Radigan, he can pick that one up pretty easily. And once again, those people at Lake Catholic, they loved Pat Radigan for 4 years. One of the best guys to come through that program. Same with Trebenter. Ground ball left side, picked up at third. And there's the double play. And that will end the inning.
What a throw.
What a quick response. Yeah. All it took was one move, and there's 2 outs. Once again, it's like riding a bike for Radigan.
It really is. It's a beautiful throw from third to first. Really textbook right there, and I've seen a lot of those today.
If that's the price T3 has to pay for the runs, they will take it. 7 score in the third. Through 3, T3 up by 5. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Christoph Alexander leading things off to begin the 4th inning. Popping that one left side, but foul. And to clear the air, it is Braden White now in right field for release. Radigan at third, Alexander now on the bench. He now takes the spot of the EH. Since there is an EH, he stays in the game, and that should sum up the change pretty simply. But 7 runs last inning for T3. They are poised to make it to the championship game now and continue the trend of, now, at that point, if this does hold, being the 6th top seed to win their game.
Wow.
The 1-1. Hit right back up the middle. Hit to short. Throw to 1. Perfect. 1 down.
Nicely done.
Excellent charge from Josh Mummers. But this game flipped on its head completely, Gabe, and this one is just going to be one of those that you look at one inning, and that's going to be the deciding factor of the game.
It really is. It's kind of like we saw in that youth game, a big inning like that, and it just kind of sometimes might suck the life out of the team. But we'll see how release responds to a lot of ball game left, a lot of talented players on this team. So I wouldn't throw it out of the window, a scenario where they come back and win.
Both teams have a laundry list worth of college commits on their squads. This time it's hit to third. Hard throw to 1. There for out number 2 once again. This infield is on another level. That throw from Kinter. And going back to last game, he was a starting pitcher. To see that much zip on a throw from a guy who threw how many pitches in the last game, that's impressive.
It really is impressive.
And same with Mummers. He came in relief.
They threw a lot. I mean, all these guys showing that they're not only talented, but they have the stamina to stay in these games and play different positions. It's really impressive.
It's grit and grind. That's what this is.
Yep.
More of a basketball term, but I think baseball, it should be more adaptive.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we see that a lot today. Now it is Paul Uzek, the left fielder, stepping in. Over 1 with a ground out to second base. 1-0 down low for ball 2. For T3 in the next inning, it's Square, Kinter, and Springer set to hit in the 9, 10, and 1 slots. But once again, if T3 is sending any message to Supreme, it's catch us if you can.
Yeah, it really is, and they're going to play that conservative play style, I'm sure, on offense. Not going to be swinging, reaching for pitches at all. It's going to be like, we're going to wait until you give us the pitch that we want, and then we're going to swing at that. So it's going to be tough, really, really tough for Release to come back from this game.
3-0, gonna hit the inside corner for strike one. But going outside their message to Team Supreme, their message to Release right now is simple. Hit us if you can.
Yeah, that is true.
Here comes the 3-1. Beautiful. We are full. Kiefman dotting up that strike zone, and ever since those two big hits, Gabe, he has been locked down.
He really has, and it's a big reason why T3's been in this game, not only because of the hitting, but also because of that great pitching.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff pitch from Kiefman. Hit right side, almost caught at first, but it is down the line for extra bases. Polyzek into second base. He is going to hold up there. That is a big, big hit for Release. That helps him out in a big way. It should be scored as a double. That was a out of the ordinary effort over at first base from McCartney. He has the home run. I kind of think he gets the pass for that one.
I think he definitely does. And tough play to make at first.
Runner at second, 2 down as Gerardo Torres, the lefty, now steps in. 0 for 1 in this game with a ground out. That pitch almost hitting his head. He has to duck out of the way.
Yeah, it's great awareness there to duck his head there because that was going straight for it. Good thing they wear a helmet, though.
Now, albeit if there were more people in the dugout, that's where you yell, "We got ice," and you wear that one. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Settle back in after allowing that 2-out double. Runs in inside again, almost gets the edge, not quite. Ball 2. Despite that rocky start, he has shown time and time again why he's going Division I for his baseball career.
Most definitely, and I don't think they regret recruiting him at all. He's going to be a fantastic player, that's for sure.
Taking time here, the 2-0. Runner fakes, swing and a miss, now 2-1. Not the first time that Wright State has kind of dipped their fingers into the Northeast Ohio or Greater Canton area pool. Kiefman from Norton, but the man who no-hit Vandy through 6 innings and Cam Allen played his high school ball for Akron Ellis.
That's awesome. There's a lot of talent here. As that goes in for a strike. There's a lot of talent here in every sport, and it's nice to see that schools outside of NEO, MAC schools outside of NEO are really starting to recruit these kids, try to get them to play college ball for them.
And it's great for the area, as you said. Just a lot of great talents out here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Good drive right over to second, but caught to retire the side.
Reached upstairs to grab that one. That was a great grab.
The highlight reel continues for this squad. What more can you say? T3 living up to the pressure of the 1 seed. It's a blessing, but a curse to be number 1.
It really is, but at the end of the day, if you're the number 1 seed, there's a pretty good chance you're going to have the talent to back that up, and clearly they're showing that today.
The defense holds up their end of the bargain. The offense looking for more when we return. T3 up 7-2 on Release Baseball. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Last time we see T3's offense, last time we saw them, 7 runs. Can they do it again, or not necessarily on that same scale, but can they get the offense rolling again here in the 4th?
They definitely can, but once again, I think something to mention is the sun is out, as that one's popped up.
Potentially playable, not quite behind the dish.
Lands in the crowd and right next to someone. Thank goodness they didn't get hit there. But back to what I was saying, the sun is out, so that means that it is a lot hotter on the field, and for someone like T3 that's played back-to-back games, that is going to be a factor. So I don't think you could see it on the scale that you saw it earlier, but you could definitely see a couple runs drove in here. They've shown that they're capable of that.
Swing and a miss, now 1-2. For those unfamiliar with the run rules, that can be put into effect 10 runs after 4, 8 after 5. 3 runs away from that 8 after 5, assuming they can blank the offense again.
But blanking release is no easy task. So
and getting the runs on the board as well,
yeah.
Same thing. To do another big inning like that again, to get 3 at least. The 1-2, off the plate, evening up the count. Gunvalson staying in this game on the mound. There is some action in the pen for release, as you would imagine. But we will see if we end up seeing that arm or not. Just depends on the game script. Gunvalson taking his time, sets and fires. Swing and a miss. There is out number 1, and a quick first out at that. Gunvalson's 3rd K of the game. 1 up, 1 down, and that's a pretty good response.
Great start there. Get the nerves loose and get a nice strikeout like that. It's huge.
Not that the infield had anything to do with that play, but since Pat Radigan has moved to third base from right field, double play, strikeout.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a potential turning point. Obviously, the turning point would then imply that more things happen later on in this game offensively for this release offense, but we don't know. There's still a chance this game goes all 7 and that we play the bottom of the 7th because release finds the runs.
Yeah.
You never know in the game of baseball when this one's over, and the best thing that we see in tournament ball is the teams that can get the run rules done, because that shows how elite they are. Up by 7, you leave the door open, and a lot of the time, they're made to pay.
Yeah, they really are.
And that's a tough thing. You're so close to that first run rule. That lowest run rule, just can't get it done. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Fouled away now, 1-2. And I kind of think based on the way that this game is going, release, hopefully for them, they can keep this offense at bay. They'll have another chance to put on some runs, but then I think T3 is going to ramp it up again in the 5th, knowing that 3 runs, they don't even need to go out on defense again, and they win the game. Once again, the championship game up next at 5:30. A run rule is a big deal here, as that gives you an extra couple minutes of rest. I believe that game would start exactly at 5:30 regardless, as not a lot of the Team Supreme guys are here quite yet because they are still coming in from Thurman Munson. The 1-2, fly ball into right field. Underneath it is the substitute, White, and he is unable to get it once again. The sun got him, and that is on paper going to be a double, but most likely still kind of a error in regard to the game.
We have seen this sun cause so many errors. Like earlier on in our games, we saw a lot of errors caused to pitching or just not being able to catch balls thrown to them. But now it appears the sun is really affecting these guys, and you can understand why. I mean, it's beating down right on them. So when they look up for that ball, that's the first thing they see before they see the ball most times.
And I've been in that spot behind the dish, in the outfield, you name it. It's never easy to deal with it because you have to deal with really a lot of the worst light possible. Good crack to short. It's going to be dropped. It is not going to be an out on the throw either. Just beat it out, and that puts him at the corners. Almost caught it, but in the end, no dice. Bortnick was close, but I guess not close enough.
No.
And we'll see it back here on the replay. At least that catch. That's what I want to see in the replay. Just tried picking it up and bobbled. Throw to 1. Not in time. Corners with 1 down. Runner will go, and it is indifference. 1-0 now the count on McCoon.
Looks like another Supreme player walking in, so they're slowly walking in.
Chop left side, high sky, picked up at third. Radigan's throw is wide off the bag, and that will load up the bases. An excellent charge, just unable to get that ball in a good spot for his first baseman, Torres. Time now called with the bases loaded. Carrick up now. McCartney in the on-deck circle. And I think this will do it for Gunvalson.
Yeah, and now the run rule definitely becomes in play here with bases loaded. Now, obviously, you haven't scored the runs, but you have a good chance of doing those. Now, stopping release will be hard, but bases loaded, this should be an opportunity to get some runs batted in.
He's going to talk to Gunvalson, and this might be a thing of, hey, I got nobody else. Can you grind this out for me? And I think it's going to be that case. If there's nobody left, and he's going to stay out there and take these reps and understands that he got this team in there.
Man.
This is a chance for him to really show his resilience.
Yeah, and this is why summer league could be a bit tricky. You got guys that have already pitched. They don't want to pitch again. And colleges they want limited pitch counts. So it's a very unique situation. But for him, all you can do is really just stand in there and throw some good pitches.
And it's a good resilience builder for him. But that one will run inside and hit Carrick. Bases remain loaded. Now a 6-run game. And Gabe, here comes what you can call the Undertaker.
Or also wearing 99, similar to Aaron Judge, showed some of that Aaron Judge power on the previous swing. This could be a legit difference maker in the game right now. Even a double at this point would.
Home run wins the game.
Yeah.
That's the run rule.
So.
Just thought of that. Already a 3-run bomb in this game. First pitch almost hits him. That'll be ball 1. That's not the hit that number 99 has in mind.
Definitely not. He wants to go yard with this one for sure.
In the words of Jose Ramirez, home run pitch. The 1-0. A good pop into center field, and that one is going to get down for an RBI single, assuming they don't get the out anywhere else, and they don't. Makes it now 9-2.
Just a couple more runs here, and this run rule will be prevalent. And we have another mound visit.
7 RBIs across his last 5 at-bats across the past game and a half, pretty much.
And he's coming out, I think.
I kind of think that's going to be the call made here.
Yep.
It will be. That will be Christoph Alexander on to throw for release. 9-2 the score, T3. On the cusp of enforcing the run rule, we will step aside as Alexander warms up. This is the 2025 Laurie Mendenhall Memorial Showcase Tournament Semifinals on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Nine to your score. T3 up by 7 against Release Baseball. Bases loaded here. Alexander's first pitch upstairs for ball 1. Gabe, it's simple. Sorry to cut you off, but 3 runs, the game ends.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we already saw him. That one's foul. We already saw him hit one to the wall, so he's definitely capable of having that power to have that type of swing. Just a matter of if he can do it and capitalize on it.
He's actually hit the ball, I think, twice to the wall. One was unfortunately caught for his sake. The other one was that triple. The 1-1 outside for ball 2. But we saw Christoph Alexander exit the ball game as Radigan moved to third, White and right. And that was to give him an opportunity to warm up to try and hold down the fort defensively. Skied, and it might be playable behind the dish, but it appears the answer is no, and a loud thud down below.
Yeah, and I think Alexander could be a nice switch-up for this Release baseball team. They've been trotting out the same guy, and it just was not working. They had T3 had a big run, so maybe Alexander can be the guy that can turn around this game for Release.
2-2 down the right side. It is down and in play for extra bases. Run 10, run 11 for the run rule. They're sending him home. The play, it's not going to happen. And T3 is going to walk it off and dance to the championship. 12-2 the final. Wow.
Wow. What a hit.
A walk-off 3 RBI double for Kiefman. His second extra base hit of the game. And this one's done in 4.
Yeah, I mean, that was hit to the best spot possible. Went all the way to the corner, then he lost control of the ball, and by then it was just way too late to get that throw all the way to right field, from right field to home plate.
Well, 12-2 your final in game number 4 of the day. One final commercial break, then we will hear a word from our sponsors, being player of the game presented by CrossFit Strongsville. Stay tuned as we will announce those honors in a moment. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. After going down 2-0 early, it's 12 unanswered. The 1 seed T3, they dance to the championship game. Before we announce player of the game, Gabe, how in the heck did they do that?
Some big innings where a lot of runs were scored. This inning and a couple innings ago really just took advantage of the pitching was not great, and I think Release switched pitchers maybe a little bit too late. I know they didn't really have much there, and they went to a guy maybe they weren't so comfortable in, but you got to think you want to switch that a little earlier to change the momentum. But either way, it's hard to say that. Release was short on pitchers anyways, so they were really put in an unfortunate spot. Ultimately, T3 takes advantage of that, but also great pitching on the mound ultimately allows them to win this game.
And speaking of pitching, your player of the game presented by CrossFit Strongsville, I don't think really any resistance from you, Jordan Kiefman. Total of 3 RBIs, a triple, a double that brought in 3 runs that walked off the game, plus got the win on the mound, 6 strikeouts. Shohei Ohtani-esque.
It really was. I mean, two-way player like that, pitching and hitting. Had a great hit towards the end of the game. I was going to foreshadow him when I mentioned the pitching, but I wasn't sure. Still wanted to have the element of surprise there. But, yeah, like I said, great pitching on the mound for most of the game. And ultimately a very big reason why T3 won this baseball game.
Wright State got a good one in Jordan Kiefman.
For sure.
To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFist2024 on Twitter. As well, subscribe down below to the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Enable push notifications to be notified when we upload or go live. Make sure as well to leave a like rating while you are down below. Our goal, once again, 4,000 subs by the end of the summer. So if you're new, go down below and subscribe. No cost, but it greatly helps out all that we do here at SmeeSports. As well, if you want to become a broadcast sponsor for your business, it's on the screen right now. Contact us at one of those 3 places, and we will work out a deal with you to promote the best of your business and your brand. Or if you want to help us out in a monetary fashion that does not include sponsorship, you can leave a donation at the SmeeSports website under the tip tab at SmeeSports.com. Any amount is appreciated, and all of the proceeds from that will be reincorporated into the channel/LLC to fund games, equipment repairs, etc. from there, including travel to these venues, as travel's not easy. We go a pretty good distance. Kent State around 50 minutes of a drive. Thurman Munson, hour. Massillon, we haven't been there, but we've been to Jackson, so that was an hour. Trying to think where else. Tri-C's close, but no box makes it tough. There is a box, we just can't be in there.
Warrensville, about 30-minute drive.
From here, it was an hour.
Yeah.
So I came from here. So there's a lot of travel that goes into these, so If you can help in any way, we'd appreciate it, but obviously not a requirement, as everything on the SmeeSports YouTube channel and the SmeeSports family of social media accounts is free for you, the people at home. And as well, make sure to read the articles on the SmeeSports.com website as well to stay up to date with all of your sporting needs, whether it be NHL, MLB, or Gabe trying to say that Kevin Durant is going to go to the Cavs.
Well, it was rumored that was going to happen. Brian Windhorst said we made an offer, but just didn't work out there. And it's tough with the second apron to try and make that thing work. But, yeah, subscribe to us, and, you know, you can read more about my NBA articles. I'll have one coming out soon. Don't want to preview it or spoil it, but I'll have one coming out soon. That's all I'll say.
And as well, the SmeeSports podcast will be up and running in a couple of weeks, potentially filming this week. We're going to see what we can do there, as we have a somewhat lighter schedule ahead of the NABF World Series across the next couple of weekends. This weekend, July 4th on Friday, Independence Day, going to celebrate that, kind of take some time off there, maybe do some prep work for games, plus on top of that, get the podcast ready. We do have a couple of guys like you, Gabe, who want to join. I think Cam's going to join us, Dan Ridenauer as well, and hopefully get on a special guest or two as that progresses. Maybe somebody from one of these tournaments, as there are a lot of good players to see. Maybe that is where we get Jacob McCartney to kind of preview his time at Tri-C, same with like a Hayden Blosser or whoever else we can get. But that will do it for game number 4 today. We are not going to start the broadcast for the next game quite yet, as we do anticipate a lot of downtime in between that game and this game and the next. But he's been Gabe Koza. I am Nathan Smee saying so long for now from Schoonover Stadium, and we will see you again in probably around a half an hour for the championship game. It's the 1 seed T3 and the 2 seed Ohio Supreme up next. Thank you all for watching. We will see you next time.